This is a luteal phase vlog, so
Oh.
maybe I could ask you about periods.
You ask me about my period?
Yeah, how's your
All
period
right.
going?
It's a rough one.
We are not linear beings, we are cyclical beings. Not every emotion, not every time you cry, not every feeling of anger is a hormonal problem. Some salmon, butternut squash, and kale. I'm pretty easy to please. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Jillz, and today I'm doing a little day in my life or days in my life, just kind of walking you through how I take care of myself and how I nurture myself in the luteal phase of my menstrual cycle. So I'm a big fan of cycle syncing. I've talked about that a bunch on my channel, and I'm just a really big proponent of women being in touch with their cycles and understanding where they are in their cycle so that they can better support themselves going forward. So the luteal phase is that time before your period. It's the time between ovulation and your next period, and it's usually about 10 to 14 days or so. So that's the time where if your hormones are off, you're going to start feeling the effects of this. This is where those PMS symptoms can start to show up and wreak havoc in your life. Luckily, my hormones are pretty good. They are pretty balanced. They did not used to be this way. I used to have really painful periods and kind of brutal, PMS symptoms, and during that luteal phase, it was not enjoyable. But since I have been on a healing journey for many, many years, my hormones have greatly improved. So first I want to talk about what's supposed to happen in the luteal phase of our cycle versus what tends to happen with women who have imbalanced hormones. So in the luteal phase, I'll show like a chart or something right here, but our progesterone is actually supposed to peak, and it's supposed to be higher than our estrogen. And then eventually, as we get closer and closer to our period, those kind of like bottom out, and that's when we can usually kind of feel like the lowest in energy. That progesterone is supposed to be high in the luteal phase. It's supposed to be higher than our estrogen. But a lot of times what happens when our hormones are imbalanced is that our estrogen to progesterone ratio is off. So either our progesterone is too low or our estrogen is too high or something like that. But then this throws off that balance. And then we get those estrogen dominant symptoms, things like anxiousness or really bad fatigue or bloating or sore boobs or headaches or painful periods or crazy moodiness, all that fun stuff. However, it is normal, even if your hormones are very, very balanced, you are very, very healthy, to feel different in your luteal phase, because again, our hormones are changing. They change throughout the month, and our hormones are very different in the luteal phase than they are 2 weeks earlier in our cycle. It is normal to want to slow down. It is normal to feel a little bit of fatigue. It's not normal to feel excessive fatigue. It is normal to want to sleep a little bit more. It is normal to want to spend a little bit more time alone and taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself. It is normal to not feel as pumped up when we go to crazy intense HIIT workouts during this time in our cycle. That's not what our body craves, and that's not what our body wants. So yeah, I just figured this would be a great time to kind of show you guys how I take care of myself, the things like what I eat, how I exercise, what I do in my days, how I show myself love. And I also wanted to note that I do track my cycle every single day using a basal body thermometer. Let me just go get it, hold on. So I have this basal body thermometer that just sits by my bed on my nightstand, and I put this under my tongue every single morning, and this is how I track my cycle. I track it in an app called Kindara. I've been using that app for like many, many years. I think I have like 55 cycles in there or something. I mean, to be honest, I don't even need to use this anymore because I am more in touch with my body, so I just can feel what phase I'm in my cycle. I can feel when I'm ovulating. I can feel when it's done. I can feel when my period's about to come. Like, I can kind of just feel all this stuff. But if you want to get more in touch with your body, highly, highly recommend getting a basal body thermometer. I will link it below. This one has worked very great for years, very cheap. And then also getting the book, Taking Charge of Your Fertility. It is amazing. It's a really big book, but you don't need to read all of it. But it does tell you very clearly how to track your cycle. I also do have a really old video on it as well, I think. So I'll link that if I do. But yes, as women, we need to get more in touch with our cycles. We need to get more in touch with our bodies and understand what's going on. Okay, so today my plan is I am taking it a little bit easier. I do need to work some as well, but I am in workout clothes right now because I'm gonna take the dogs for a long walk. So let's just talk about exercise for a second. I have been good on my exercise game lately, and I am proud of that because that is one of my goals for this year, just to get stronger, especially before we decide to have kids. I feel like it's a good idea to get like a little bit more muscle in me, just a little bit stronger. So So that's something I'm really prioritizing this year. But once the luteal phase comes and once I'm like a week out from my period specifically, I really feel like any sort of like real workouts don't really make me feel good. And so I kind of just stick to walking and very, very slow strength training, things like maybe really light Pilates or things like that, but I keep it light. So I'm in my workout gear because I'm gonna take the dogs for a walk. I was just gonna do a long walk in the neighborhood, but there's this walk that I love by the river that's near us here and the dogs love it. So I think I'm gonna throw them in the car and take them for a walk there after I eat lunch. I need to eat first or else I will not enjoy that walk. So let's start with lunch. Okay, but real quick though, before I go downstairs to the kitchen, I wanna show you guys our new bedroom. It's very, very close to being done. It's basically done. We just need some art, but I really love it. It's so cozy, so I want to show you. This is our bed and our nightstands. I think it's super cozy. I love the sconces right here. We do need some art right up here above the bed. I did find one that I really love that's like light blue. It's kind of like a sky, but a little expensive, so I'm kind of waiting to see if I can find something else. But I love this light up here too. This is like my absolute favorite. It was pretty affordable. It's from Lamps Plus, believe it or not, and it's so beautiful. It's on a dimmer. Let me show you. So this is what it looks like with full brightness, and then I'm not sure if the camera will show, but it just looks so good when it's dimmed like that. It's so romantic. I love it. And then I love this little rug. I think it's so cute. I think I got this from Overstock. Let me know if you guys want any links, but I just love this one. Some pretty windows. You got our dresser and a frame TV, so it shows like some art instead of just a black screen. It's so nice. Look how cute that is. But yeah, so pretty simple right now. And then I also have a mirror over here. Big full-length mirror. Anyway, let's make some lunch. Okay, so we already have leftovers today, so this is not gonna take very long. Got some salmon, butternut squash, and kale. I'm just gonna stick this in the oven to warm it up. So I actually discovered this randomly one time. One time before my period, I ate like an insane amount of fish. I had like sushi a lot, and I just had fish every single day. And this was when I was having some painful periods, not too bad, but I was having some cramping. And that time when I just had a bunch of fish before my period, when my period came, I had literally 0 cramps at all. There was no pain at all. And I attributed that to all of the fish that I ate. And so I actually tried to eat a little bit more fish before my period in the luteal phase, just because I do feel like it helps me. You could probably just take like an omega-3 supplement as well, but I love fish anyways, so that's easy for me. But I don't know, maybe if you're having painful periods, that's something to try. Now also when it comes to the luteal phase and food, so our caloric needs actually increase during this time, and it ranges a little bit for everyone, but I think it's anywhere from like 100 to 300 or 400 calories, maybe more in a day. It's normal to want to eat a little bit more during this time. It's normal to want to eat a little bit more carbs, a little bit more protein, maybe a little bit less veggies. I'm a big proponent of just like listening to your body and understanding your body's cues. So if your body is craving something, it's for a reason. So like I said, I usually do try to eat more fish during this time, but I also usually eat and just gravitate more towards red meat during this time as well. I love steak. I love a good steak. So I do tend to eat a little bit more of this, but it is really helpful in your luteal phase to kind of help to build up those iron stores before you bleed for a few days. But you really have to listen to your body more during this time, because if you're eating things that are just not satisfying you, like for example, I really love fatty meat, so like fish and steak and things like that. But if I were to eat like a bunch of chicken breasts and veggies, I would for sure binge every single night that night on crappy food, because I just was not satiated and satisfied during the day. I didn't give myself what I needed during the day. And the luteal phase is that time in our cycle where we are more likely to eat junky food and want to binge on crappy foods. And oftentimes it's because we're just not giving our body what it needs. We're not giving it enough food, or we're not giving it the food that it's asking for. Or we're using food to try to suppress our emotions or something like that. But if you do eat animal protein like me, if you do want to incorporate like some more fish or steak or things like that before your period like I do, just The quality of the protein is really important. So like grass-fed organic steak, a little bit healthier for you. It is a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion, I do think that it is worth it. I get my meat from a few different places. Sometimes I just get it from Whole Foods. Sometimes I order in bulk online, but I just always go for organic grass-fed. And same with like salmon or fish, just like wild fish is usually the best. Not just wild caught, but wild salmon. They're actually different. So once my food is done heating up, I'll show you what I'm eating. I'm gonna eat this really quick, and then I'm gonna go outside for a nice long walk in nature. Okay, food is ready. It's a little hot, but we got salmon in there. Can't really show you guys, but salmon, some kale, and butternut squash, sort of puree kind of thing. Oh. Oops, sorry. It looks a little sloppy and like honestly looks a little gross, but it is so tasty. So let's eat it. Okay, so I am gonna go for that walk. I just totally forgot that I have something for work that I need to do. It'll only take me like 10 minutes. I just wanna get it done before I go for the walk so I can enjoy myself, you know? I have to do something for a partnership. You wanna go for a walk? Do you wanna go for a walk? Is that a yes? Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. You guys ready for a walk? You ready for a walk? You ready for a walk, Piper? So I just got back from a walk, changed into one of my new pretty dresses. It's like a flowy dress. I have this in my feminine spring dress video. I'll link it somewhere. But I always love going for walks outside, especially just like slow walks with the dogs. In my luteal phase, I enjoy that much more than an actual workout where I'm like getting sore and really pushing myself. That stuff just, it's not gonna make me feel good. It just makes me feel way too fatigued, or basically like the rest of the day I'm too tired to like function and do anything. So it's just not helpful for me. So I love just keeping it to like, once I'm like 5-6 days out from getting my period, I just keep it to walks and just like simple strength training at home, but that's it. I love the nature walks though. Like it's just so pretty around here. I love all the trees, all the green is starting to come back. It's just so pretty. So I really love doing it. It makes me happy. But anyways, I did want to talk to you guys about one specific thing that I think a lot of women struggle with in their luteal phase, and something that is just hard for women. So let me just dive in. I don't know how to explain it. So when a woman is in her luteal phase, again, if their hormones are imbalanced, that's the time where we can get a little bit moody or a little bit emotional, or maybe getting, you know, more easily getting upset or crying or things like that. That is possible. That is a symptom of estrogen dominance. However, with that said, it's not always just a period problem or hormonal problem or us being hormonal. Because here's the thing, okay, so during a woman's luteal phase, she is actually more in touch with her intuition and the unconscious parts of herself. More of those unconscious parts become conscious, I guess you could say, usually during the luteal phase and the menstrual phase in our cycle. You know, she tends to have more access to her inner knowing than she does in the other phases of her cycle, like her follicular and ovulatory phase. The right hemisphere of the brain, which is associated with intuition, actually becomes more active during this time in her cycle. So think about it as like the luteal and menstrual phases are those times where we want to go more inward, we want to slow down, we want to nurture the self, where the follicular and ovulatory phases are the times where we're naturally more outward facing. We want to be seen more, we want to go do things, we want to be efficient and productive and make an impact and add value to other people's lives. So the luteal phase is a time where we are meant to be honest with ourselves. We are meant to notice the uncomfortable feelings that are coming up. Not every emotion, not every time you cry, not every feeling of anger is a hormonal problem. It is a time where we are meant to sit and honor what is coming up for us, you know, emotionally and with our intuition, even if it makes us a little bit uncomfortable. Being a witness to those thoughts, being a witness to that intuition coming through, not judging them, just noticing them. So this is really important during this time in our cycle, if our hormones are relatively balanced, if we don't have crazy estrogen dominant symptoms, everything that needs attention in your life is going to start coming up in this phase. And that's a big deal, and that can oftentimes make us feel a little bit anxious or a little bit fearful or a little bit emotional or upset. Notice where you're getting angry. Notice where you're getting sad. Notice where you're getting anxious. What keeps showing up for you during this time? Like, especially if every single time, like a week before your period, you start questioning your career and you really, really hate it, and you get this deep sense that like the career path you're on is not right for you, I wouldn't just chalk it up to being hormonal or being anxious. Those things come up for a reason, because in the luteal phase, we have that deeper connection to our inner knowing. Or if every single month before your period, you realize that you're really not happy in your romantic relationship, and every single month before your period, you want to like break up with him, that's something to notice, right? It doesn't mean you need to break up with him right now, but it's something to bring your attention to. And you need to kind of think for yourself, is this a hormonal problem? Is this a physical body problem? Or is this my intuition coming through stronger? And that is something that only you can figure out for yourself, which makes it a little bit tricky, but that's why it's so important to make sure that your hormones are balanced and healthy and that you're having good, healthy menstrual cycles. And if you're not, that is the first thing to focus on. Instead of, just rapidly quitting your job and breaking up with your boyfriend, focus on healing your hormones first and see if that changes the way that you feel during those phases in your cycle. However, if your hormones are pretty good, you've got good periods, they're consistent, you're in tune with your body, then you shouldn't ignore these signs. You shouldn't ignore these nudges. They are your intuition speaking to you. Again, we are more naturally able to feel and tap into this energy during this time. So one of my favorite things during this time is just sitting and breaking open a journal, journaling and writing down everything that I'm feeling. Whenever I'm feeling anxious or sad or emotional or upset or anything, write it all down in a journal. Write it down, try to get clear on your thoughts, try to get clear on what that nudge is, that intuitive nudge is, or just those feelings are, and figure out if it is a pattern, something that keeps recurring month after month, cycle after cycle. When you're journaling, you can ask yourself, how am I feeling? Am I anxious or upset about something? And what is it? Is this something that's just kind of like random and one-off, or is this something that is constantly recurring in my life? And one of my favorite journal questions to ask is, what do I need to know? And what does my body need to know? If you just let yourself write for like 10, 15 minutes, just keep writing, there will be really interesting and helpful things that come up for you. I'm a huge fan of journaling. I really, really love it. I think it's a great way to build more like self-awareness and kind of reflect on how we're feeling. So the point of all of this and everything that I'm trying to say is that yes, you can be a hormonal mess before your period, but you also could just be tapping into the unconscious parts of you that you don't want to notice, that you don't want to recognize yet, because maybe it makes you uncomfortable. As women, we are so intuitive, and we have these amazing cycles that help us tap deeper into that side of ourselves. So we got to take advantage of it. So anyway, when it does come to me and my own luteal phase, if those feelings come up, I can usually tell if they are more like hormonal or, intuition coming forth, because usually I will have other symptoms as well if it's hormonal. Like maybe I'll get super bloated, or I'll have a really hard time sleeping, or things like that. Usually they will be in conjunction with other things. But if I do start getting anxious about something, or I do start getting sad about something, or getting upset about something, or crying about something, I know that it's something that needs my attention and something that is not fully right in my life right now. And I might not be able to fix it right away, but at least I become aware of it. And also along these same thoughts just about connecting to ourselves, I personally really like tarot cards and like oracle cards and things like that. I feel like for me, they help me to tap more into my intuition and things like that. Anyways, I do have some work to do, so I'm gonna go do that, and I will check in with you guys later.
Okay, so there's this really cute donut place near us called Five Daughters Bakery.
5 Daughters.
So good. They have some paleo donuts. So we went, I got these donuts. I don't know if you're gonna eat any of them, but
I am not.
they're so good. There's lemon blueberry and then some sort of cinnamon flavor. I love little sweet treats like this when I'm about to get my period. They make me super happy, and he knows it. So now we're going for a nice little country drive because it is so beautiful.
It is,
Everything's
actually.
turning green. It's gorgeous. So pretty. Gotta get the horses. Oh, you can't really see the horses. There's horses up there.
There's a
So
little
pretty.
creek running through it. Love to see it. But that is a pretty horse.
Beautiful horse. Can I ask you some questions?
Okay, what are we doing?
Let's see.
Other than sitting in traffic on
This is a luteal phase vlog, so
Oh,
maybe I could ask you about periods.
you ask me about my period?
Yeah, how's your
All
period
right.
going?
It's a rough one.
I'm gonna ask him some questions because I think this is fun. How should a man best support his woman during during the luteal and menstrual phases in her cycle?
Luteal and menstrual?
Well,
you just added one on there?
Well, they're
Alright,
they're
now I
similar.
have to think about two things instead of one thing?
Okay, luteal phase. Luteal
Oh,
phase.
This is like being in the SAT all over again. Yeah, okay, so supporting wife during the luteal.
Yeah, what kind of things do you do for me?
Tread lightly. Tread lightly.
No, what kind of things do you do for me?
That was a serious answer. That's my first gut instinct.
Okay.
Tread lightly. Don't talk about your stuff.
What does that mean?
No, I mean like my stuff. Like don't talk about work.
That's not true. You've talked about work.
I'm not saying I'm good at it.
Okay.
God, I'm just saying that's what you should do.
Why should a man not talk about his work?
Well, just listen to her stuff. Let her cry and stuff like that.
Okay, so what I'm getting at is listen to her.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
All right.
that's good.
Yeah. All I do is talk about work, so she gets 1 week out of the month, I guess.
He is more like aware of my needs. That's not necessarily the right word, but like making me happy. So if he,
I like taking you out for little treats.
yeah, he loves to take me out for little treats.
Sitting in the car and chatting, using it as an
chatting.
opportunity to connect.
My love language is quality time, so I love
Yeah.
these things. We love going for drives together.
And it doesn't have to be a lot of time, just 10 minutes, 20 minutes in the car with a donut,
Yeah, it
chat a little bit.
Makes me feel very loved.
Yeah, and then just try not to talk about my stuff, because I've always got a lot going on, and I always want to talk about it because I'm a social butterfly, I guess.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is that Cole is a talker. He's like the
I'm a
extroverted
talker.
one in the relationship, and I'm the introverted one in the relationship. I'm the one who loves to listen, and he likes to talk. And
Not
so
good at
usually in our relationship, it's a lot of him talking and me listening. So
I'm a salesperson.
So we both have to be very intentional about
Yeah.
making it the other way sometimes.
You gotta zone in and try. For me, I have to try. Maybe other guys don't have to try to listen, but I gotta slow things down and stop.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. Anyways, now I'm gonna eat my donuts and enjoy this nice country drive.
Good morning. It is the next day here. Ooh. I am getting ready, getting ready. I already did my face and then I realized I should probably turn this on. Wash my hair, obviously. I need to dry it and style it a little bit. But I do have kind of like a busier morning here. Just things that I already had scheduled for a while. So like, I know I've shared this before, but we renovated our bathrooms, our upstairs bathrooms, and our interior designer is coming today to take some pictures. She's coming with her photographer to take some pictures for her portfolio. So I need to clean those bathrooms because we had a guest this weekend staying in that bathroom, and then our master bathroom is messy. So I need to clean it and everything and get it like picture ready for her because she did such a good job. Okay, eyeliner done, but I will show you guys the finished bathrooms once they're done, once I'm done cleaning and once they're done taking their pictures. I'll show you guys and I'll show some before pictures too. It's pretty funny to see the transformation. So yesterday, like I showed, we went and got those like paleo donuts from $5 Bakery. They're just so good, and they don't make me feel bad, which is great. Whenever I'm in my luteal phase, like before my period, you know, I love to plan like a little ice cream date with Cole or something, going to get paleo donuts on the weekend or something like that. Like those things just make me really happy. They bring me so much joy. I'm pretty easy to please. Yeah, I don't know. I just like to give myself something to look forward to, and those things do it for me. So if I were to let myself get like, you know, donuts or ice cream all the time, then I would really suffer the consequences of that. But if I save it for just specific times in my cycle, then I don't. Like if I only eat junky meals every now and then I feel totally fine. But if junky meals are a staple in my diet, then I will quickly crash and burn. And I've just learned over the years like where my limit is at. So yeah, I just kind of let myself usually have like 1 or 2. I don't have like a number on it. I'm not like that strict about it. It sounds like I'm really strict with my diet. I'm not. I just feel like what feels right. And sometimes I'm just like, I just kind of plan that I'm gonna do something with Cole, and that brings me a lot of joy. It brings me something to look forward to. It's really just as simple as that. Especially during this time, I crave more of those things sometimes anyways, you know? Like I just crave a little bit more food and usually a little bit more like sweets and carbs and things. It's nice to kind of treat yourself sometimes. Anyways, but later on today, I'm actually going to a dance class with my friend Alex. It's not like a intense, you know, hip hop dance class or anything. It is a beginner contemporary dance class, so it's a little bit slower, which is good for me right now because like a really intense hip hop, you know, intense cardio class just would not suit me right now. I can tell that my period's gonna come in like the next few days, so I woke up today and I could really feel like my body wanting to slow down. So I'm really glad that this is a slower dance class. I like it. I haven't been to this specific class in a while though. And this is the first time I'm bringing my friend, so I actually know somebody there, which is nice. But I actually think that she'll like it a lot. So just doing the bottom lashes real quick. Just need to do my lips, and then I need to blow dry my hair. Whenever I do my lip liner, I just kind of put it all over my lips. I don't know if anyone else does that, but just like to put it all over. And then also what I'll do is I will usually just very, very ever so slightly overline right here and right here. Not anywhere else, but just like the middle sections. Like just very, very subtle. It's very, very subtle. And then some lipstick. I love this Ilia lip balm. It's like almost done because I've used it so much. But this is what I use every single day. Voila, now I need to do my hair. Actually, I'm gonna make my bed first while my hair continues to air dry. All ready for the day. Okay, so it has been a very busy morning, but things are just finishing up around here. So the photographer and stuff just left. So this is the best time to show you guys the new bathroom, even though this isn't very like luteal phase kind of content, but it is very, very beautiful, very clean. So this is the time to show you guys. Okay, so here is the bathroom. It looks so beautiful. We have this awesome tub right here. I love the way it turned out. I love these vanities. We have this super tall ceiling. We already had that, but we added in like the shiplap and this faux beam to make it look a little bit more special. We added the chandelier. We have this beautiful arched window, and then we added these like arched mirrors to kind of mimic that. I love the sconces. I love the fixtures, like these gold fixtures. They're just super cool. I love this floor. I love this little cabinet area here for storage, and I love this shower. So we actually ended up changing the floor plan in here, and we actually moved the door over. So the door used to be like right around there, and we moved it over. The shower used to be really tiny, but we made it way bigger. We added a bench. I love this tile, and it goes all the way up the wall up here. So it's super dramatic. It's really large. I just absolutely love it. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think it is absolutely beautiful, and getting ready every morning, taking a shower in here, taking a bath in here, it's just so luxurious. So let me show you the other bathroom as well. So the master bathroom was like our big project, but we also redid our guest bathroom. We didn't change the floor plan or anything, but we did update it, make it a little bit cleaner, and we made it a little bit more brighter and fun as well. I wanted it to be bright and happy and sunshiny and fun. So that's the vibe of that bathroom. This one I wanted to be more like natural and clean, but that one's a little bit more fun, especially because will probably be a kid's bathroom one day, so I want it to be happy. Okay, so unfortunately the lighting is totally gone on this side of this house, so it just won't look as good on camera, but it is very cute. So let me show you. Let me turn this around. So this is the guest bathroom. We made it like blue and white. It's just really beautiful. We have these double mirrors, and I love these sconces up here. And we added wallpaper, which I love wallpaper. And then we also added this wainscoting down here as well. And this is all new as well, you know, updated countertops, and we painted this like a bluish color, light blue color. I love the floors. And then we just kept this really, really simple in here. Just like very clean, simple white tile. We did put like a really nice shower head on, but we kept it really simple in here. But I think it turned out really good, and I'm very, very happy with it. I love the happy vibe in here, you know? Okay, so now I need to get a little bit of work done. It's like 3:30 already. I'm basically gonna work until dinner and then go to that dance class that I told you guys about. So I'm excited to go to. But let's talk about work in relation to our cycle. So I have, of course, mentioned this in, you know, my past cycle syncing videos, but it's actually to our advantage when we can organize our work around our cycle. Now, I know some people are going to be able to do this more than others. I totally get that. Some people have more flexibility with their work and their schedule and other people don't. But if you do have that flexibility, if you can arrange your schedule to a monthly schedule as much as possible, it can really, really help. So the luteal phase is the time in our cycle where we generally aren't like bursting with creative ideas. That's not really like our strength during that time. It's not our strength to be like super social and super outward facing. Usually what we're good at during this time and what we enjoy doing is things like just wrapping up projects and being more detail oriented and being more organized. And this is a great time for that kind of like admin type of stuff. So for example, this is not the time where I'm just thinking about all of these video ideas and business ideas and things like that. This is kind of the time where I'm like slowing it down and focusing on more behind the scenes work, like editing or getting through, you know, all the emails that I ignored earlier in the month. This is also the time where I tend to work less as well. Again, I know not everyone can just work less in their luteal phase. I'm not oblivious to that. But if I'm just being honest, I do tend to work a lot more in the follicular and ovulatory phases because I just have more of that like natural energy spike, and I tend to work less in the luteal and menstrual phases. And that is a perk. I can work in a way that is much more aligned with my own cycle. I also don't work like 40+ hours every week. I usually work probably like 25 hours a week or something, but it really varies. Some weeks it's 0 and other weeks it's been like over 60 hours. So it really varies, but it's just up to like what I want to do. So I totally understand that I have that flexibility and I'm grateful for that. But even if you work for like a corporate environment, you have a manager that you need to report to or whatever, if you understand like the monthly at a glance schedule and know like what it is you are responsible for, you can kind of use cycle syncing to your advantage at least a little bit. So it's something to at least kind of try and think about and see if there's a way that you can start to at least in a little way organize your work based off of where you are in your cycle. It really will change the game for you, I promise. Like for example, in the ovulatory phase, that's when we are usually better communicators. And I find that if I film more videos in the ovulatory phase, it's easier for me, it's more enjoyable for me, I'm able to get the words out easier. So it's just like easier and more fun, and it's faster, right? Where if I were to film a video a day before my period, I can still do it, I still enjoy it, but I tend to stumble my words more and it can take a little bit longer. So anyways, I do have to do some computer work for a little bit, but it's just like some editing and things like that. I do have an editor, but I don't send her everything. So I am gonna do this myself and then a few other things that I've been ignoring. So I'm gonna get to that and then do dinner in a few hours, and then I will see you later for dance class.
I'm here, I'm just waiting. I'm a little bit early. Sometimes there's traffic, so I just left a little bit early, but I'm very excited for this dance class. So like if you don't know the styles of dance, this is contemporary, and that's basically like the more like slower, emotional type of dancing. So great for the luteal phase. But I'm just really excited that my friend is coming because I haven't been to this studio that many times. It's a little bit more like overwhelming than the other ones. This is where like a lot of like the good dancers go. Like professional dancers will come to like practice here. But this is a beginner's class, so there's no like, there's not gonna be any like really good people in this one. But it's also like a big studio with a bunch of different rooms, so it's like overwhelming. So I'm glad she's coming. Oh, okay, she's here. All right, bye bye.
Do a couple of good feeling things. Whatever feels good. Rest your breath and 1, 7, 8, and 1. Well, you suck. Okay.
Okay, I just got back and I'm not gonna lie that wasn't my favorite class. It was a lot of, I'm sorry, my dogs are drinking water. It was a lot of floor work, which is like just a lot of things on the floor and like rolling around on the floor. And I just don't think my body is built for that. I'm gonna have so many bruises tomorrow. My body is so sore, not necessarily in a muscle way, but in like my bones. Like I'm just sore and I have weird sensations everywhere. So it wasn't my favorite, honestly. There is one other class there that I've been wanting to try. It's like a little bit sexier. So I might try that one next time. But I am wiped. I'm gonna eat a snack, take a shower, and just cuddle up in bed because I'm so tired. So I'll see you tomorrow. Oh man, okay, so I had myself a little morning. I woke up, I was feeling very like sore and just kind of a little bit achy. I don't know if it was just from that dance class or for whatever. So I immediately got in the bath, a warm bath with Epsom salt and some essential oils, and I feel so much better. I always really prioritize Epsom salt baths before my period and during my period. I feel like they help me so much. Epsom salt is just basically magnesium, and magnesium is so important for our body to function correctly. And it's so good for relieving the effects of stress on the body. It's really good for muscle cramps and things like that. So it's really good when you are on your period. If you are having cramps, take a hot bath with tons of Epsom salt. It always helps. But I do find that if I really prioritize a bunch of Epsom salt baths, hot Epsom salt baths for several days before my period, I feel like I usually feel a lot better throughout that time, and also when my period does come. So now I feel so much better, and this also gives you time to just kind of like slow down and be present with yourself and to do nothing except for just to like lay there and enjoy the experience. And luteal phase is all about slowing down and being present with yourself. So I find it super helpful for just kind of like getting back into the body like that and winding down a little bit. So today I do have some work to do, not too much though, which I'm happy about, and it is a beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful. No cloud in the sky, beautifully sunny, warm weather, but not too warm. So I'm also going to enjoy my day outside as well. Springtime in Nashville, Tennessee is my absolute favorite. Okay, I'm going to wrap this vlog up. I did just want to mention one more point though that I think is really relevant for the luteal phase and thriving in your luteal phase, and that is setting boundaries and not being afraid to set some boundaries to make sure that you are taking care of yourself during this time. You know, this might be the time where you might have to say like, I'm sorry, I really wish I could help you with this problem, but I'm just at full capacity right now. And I know I've said this many times, but this is the time where you're supposed to be transitioning more to nurturing yourself. Again, we are not linear beings, we are cyclical beings, meaning there are some days where we will have so much energy to help all the people in our lives. We will be adding value and doing all the things, and then some days are not like that. They are not meant to be like that. Some days are for us, for slowing down, for nurturing ourselves. And if we don't give ourselves that love and nurturing and time that we need during this phase in our cycle and during our menstrual phase, we won't be at our best when that new cycle comes and when our energy is supposed to be high. So if there's anything that you take away from this vlog, I hope it's that you realize that it is okay to slow down and love on yourself a little bit more during this time. That you don't need to be doing all of the things. That you will come back as a stronger woman when your next cycle starts. So thank you guys for watching this luteal phase days in the life vlog. I hope that it at least brought you some value, and if you stayed until the very end with me, then know that I appreciate you, and leave a pink heart in the comments below. Pink for my jacket. I love this jacket. It's so warm and comfy. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys, and I hope that you love this video and that I will see you in the next one. Bye.